Yo, Infolitas, welcome back to a YouTube video. Shouts out to one of the fans that told me to make this video, but I'm going to do a top 5 album comprehensive review. We're gonna do Rest in Bass by Che, IAmMusic by Playboi Carti, Jack Boys 2 by Travis Scott, Two Creek by your boy Infinite 3Z, and of course Ken Carson's More Chaos. So before we get into the YouTube video, just make sure you guys like and subscribe. I know you guys saw that little glowy thing whenever it pops up with the AI filter. So make sure you guys do that, hit the subscribe, hit the likes, do all that stuff. And add the Snapchat info_lit. Infinite 3Z should be the name, just the name, and then the username info_lit, and I will be adding you guys back. And that is how you can get a lot of the most recent updates. Any way you want to get a hold of me, video ideas, music, all that stuff. Same thing with Instagram. I'm not as active on there, but Infinite 3Z if you guys want to go drop a follow. Also, if you go to my channel, links in my description on the channel, it will also show my links there. Without a further ado, let's get it. So for the first album, we have Rest in Bass by your boy Say So Says Che. Now, obviously, if you listen to the album, Whole Lotta Red too, right? Well, yeah and no. I mean, it's a really good project if you're just listening to hype, fun, you know, you're faded or some shit, drunk, whatever you're doing. Obviously, it's a pretty good album for that. But a comprehensive album, that's not what you're listening to Che for. So if we're going straight by just overall ASAP Rocky comprehensive, that's a 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10. But unfair, so we're gonna go by what he was going for, evolving that Carti sound, that raspiness, and adding his own sauce. I'd say he did a pretty good job. I give it a 7.5. Now, if you get sucked into the hype that everything, oh, this album's a 8, this album's a 10. But if you listen to it album through, album out, and you go and you look at what he was trying to do, I say he got a 7.5 to 7.9. You're automatically going to kind of put yourself at a discount if you're, you know, trying to make that Carti a Whole Lotta Red era sound, because it's already been done once. But the way that he did it didn't make it seem like he was also trying to carbon copy. So that's why I give him a lot of props for that. So I give that a 7.9. But with the songs and everything and certain sounds just not developed, me personally, I give it a 7.5. And he still kind of fell into the tropes of kind of trying to make a sound just because it could make a sound. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But if you're just listening to it hype, you know, having a party, doing whatever, or just vibing, you know, this thing's a really good album to turn on, you know, at 8.5. It's pretty hard to listen to if you're just straight chilling, but if you're listening to this thing with the homies, you know, skating, doing something fun, you know, trying to get hype, working out, you know, honestly, you turn it on, turn your brain off. It's a really good album to listen to. In that respect, I give it an 8. But for my full album opinion, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Some of the reason why you guys probably clicked on this video. IAmMusic by Playboi Carti. Where do I begin? So for me, this album just didn't do it. Obviously the wait was 4 or 5 years. The hype was insane. Everyone was behind it. It was like Eternal at Take 2.0, but just in the Carti fashion. And for me, it just really didn't do it, because Carti is 30 years old. He is pushing money, sex, hoes, all these things. You have a kid, bro. I'm sorry, no matter what, I can't get that out of my head. And it's like, yeah, obviously we don't turn on Carti, you know, to listen to comprehensive, you know, full on, like I said, ASAP Rocky, you know, trying to change shit, you know what I mean, you know, something like that. But even the guy you're trying to emulate, Lil Wayne, at least had a whole lot of lyrics and a whole lot of things to say about his life, everything like that. I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair. Like, that's going into who he is, what he's doing, shit like that, with wordplay, with real shit. And Carti's trying to, you know, copy that Lil Wayne, you know, style era with the mixtapes, with the everything. And you know what? Maybe for some people he's doing it right, but to me, he's just not doing it. I mean, who am I? I'm just some little small artist trying to make it big. But I do know what music is, and I know how to make it, and I know how to put stuff together. And I'm telling you, Carti did not care fully about what he was doing and what he was making. He was just trying to capitalize and make a different sound, the deep voice shit, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with it, you know what I'm saying? If it works for you and your fan base, it works for you and your fan base. And don't get me wrong, I still like Carti's songs. I like Self-Titled. I mean, Dialect's cool, but for me, Self-Titled title really did it. You know, I used to glaze Whole Lotta Red, and I used to glaze all of Cardi, but then I grew up a little bit, and you know, I pulled a J. Cole 1985 I Arrived, and I realized, you know, you're gonna get too old for the shit that made you blow up. And that's what happened. I'm making music myself, and if I view myself better than what you even do, obviously his voice and stuff like that more iconic, this, that, and the other, whatever. But lyrically, everything like that, Cardi isn't there, and even if he isn't there, he has never dropped anything to support that he is lyrically capable. And I know he is, and that's the thing that sucks. If you call your album IAmMusic, you need to have something behind it. At least go into your life something, not just the same thing that you've went into your life every other album. Imagine how cool it would be if Cardi tried to push a different narrative, a different motive, you know, something cool besides just opium and this, that, and the other. If he had actually pushed, you know, some real world, real life stuff, he could have made an insane album. But he didn't, and he dropped more of a mixtape and more of just a bunch of compilations of songs that he was still recording even when the album was about to be dropped. That's why it got delayed, and that just shows that you don't know what you were trying to make, and it just shows in the album. If you really listen to it album through, album out, it's not there. Get out the TikTok clout, get what all of your friends say about Cardi, and listen to the music. It's just the same song over and over. That doesn't mean I don't like songs on the album. Overly is by far my favorite song. We by head just like we cut off like a comet. You know what I'm saying? He's saying he took off like a comet. He's getting into what he was doing. We by head just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going into it. He's going in. That's what I wanted from Cardi. But a lot of the songs he's doing just ain't there. You had the one song that was with Travis Scott that got so hyped, using like that little guitar instrumental to one of his old songs, like that dun dun, like the Die Lit shit, you know what I'm talking about? That whole album was just straight ad-libs, Cardi going Cardi and it just sounded like the whole thing was recorded on Ad-Lib 3. And to this day, I still have no one hear anyone talk about that song to this day, and it was so hyped on Instagram and TikTok, it's not even funny. Same thing with the Evil Jordan intro. Bro made a TikTok intro. So for me, I give the album a 4.5. It's not my style, it's not my vibe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you turn it, for me, I can't even turn it on and listen to it because it's just not my thing. I can think of ASAP Rocky doing it 10 times better, and then I'm gonna just go listen to ASAP Rocky. Listen to ASAP's first, second, and even third project. You can just play certain songs that do exactly what Cardi's doing times 5 and have a different era vibe sound to it with the trillest of the trill. I love ASAP, you know what I'm saying? Full glaze, you know what I'm saying? But from a real music perspective, Cardi really just didn't hit the mark. Commercially, bro did a 10 out of 10 though. So the next album, we have Jack Boys 2. Now, I am a Travis Scott supporter more than I am than Cardi, more than I am than a lot of these other artists. But Travis, man, I just think that either his clouded judgment got too high, and it's like, no matter what song I make, I'm Travis Scott, I'm going to be able to do good. And it just doesn't work that way. No matter what, you have to be able to put your heart and soul into it. And the only people that felt like they did was Fago and some of the other features that they were trying to prove something. And I think that they did, and I think that Fago went crazy. And let me explain to you why. In MM3, if you listen to the lyrics, he listens and explains and shows you what he's been going throughout his life and what he's been doing. Travis Scott did not explain anything like that one single time. He just made bars to make bars. And when you make bars to make bars, sure, you can turn it on and vibe. But man, if you're actually trying to listen to this thing for a real comprehensive album throughout, it's not listenable in my opinion. The production, everything is not even Travis Scott level. MM3 and a couple other songs are there, but the rest of them, wiggly wobbly is just not it, bro. I'm sorry. And you know, Don Toliver, he's getting there a little bit too with the whole Travis Scott. Like, he's got to kind of switch it up a little bit. Obviously his vocals and everything are always going to be crazy and angelic and nice to listen to. But when you actually want to listen to music for music and actually get something out of it besides just a vibe, you can't get that with Travis Scott. But you can get that with Astroworld. You can get that with Utopia. They're trying to bring you into a world. Jack Boys, if they were trying to bring you into a world, the features were the only ones that felt like they were trying. And the thing is though, is that's what makes Travis albums so beautiful, is the fact that he's able to, you know what I'm saying, correlate and actually kind of make a little story or do whatever he wants in the album, and actually knows how to creatively get there. And a lot of artists don't know how to do that, and he does, but he just didn't do it with this album. And I feel like either he left it up to the artist to do it for him, or he just really didn't care that much and was just trying to make a bag. And you know, props to him, he made that bag, he went crazy, but musically he just didn't get there. And you know, I give it a 5 out of 10. To me, it's a little bit better than IAmMusic, only just because of the features. If there was no features and it was just Travis and he did what he did on the album, this shit is worse than IAmMusic. Next album, you already know, 2 Creek, 10 out of 10. No, I'm just playing. On a real note though, I feel like to obviously shed light to my albums and stuff like that, and shed light to my music, obviously I'm going to talk about it and stuff like that. But on a real deal, I'm going to let y'all in on stuff, to be honest. Me personally, what I feel like I think I did around a 7.7 to 7.8. And the reason why is because in 2 Creek, I'm trying to show you who I am. I'm 2 Creek, you know, I grew up country, you know what I'm saying, believe it or not. I grew up in the country, and I'm starting to kind of show a little bit of that, you know, not like countryness, but like just show like kind of where I'm from and like how I operate and the way that life is for me. And that's what I'm trying to do with 2 Creek. Like, you know, you're 2 Creek, you know, you're too real and you do the things that you want to do. And that's kind of what I was trying to show throughout the album with certain lyrics. And I think I did that kind of okay. You know what I'm saying? I think I can do it better now, obviously, with hindsight. But from a fan perspective, and if I were to just listen to it from start to finish, I realistically give it to like a 7 to an 8. And it's not even glaze. I'm also going off of fan opinion and what I've given, you know, what people have given me feedback. Everyone's always said 8, 9, 10, whatever. So I'm going to round down and give it my personal, you know, actual critique. I give it a 7.7. Now the last album, last and not least, but we all know that he could have done better, and that is Ken Carson. Now the promo behind this album, I personally think it's some of the best. You know, I really like the whole gore aesthetic that he was going through and everything like that. You know, it's different, it's weird, but you know, it's something at least a little bit different. He's trying to push a little bit something different in himself, you know what I mean? But man, he just didn't do it when it comes to the songs. It just sounded like he was trying to make a Great Chaos 2, but it wasn't even on a Great Chaos level. And I know a lot of people say that, but it's literally true. If you listen to some of the songs, it's literally not even close to as good. The quality doesn't even sound the same to me. Like, some of it doesn't even sound like correct. I don't know. Some songs are really good and some songs are just really garbage. Now we can all turn on Ken Carson and just be like, you know, turn it on and vibe. But if you're listening to it in a comprehensive album, I give, you know, it around like a 6. I give it around a 6 out of 10 to listen to, because, you know, it's Ken. His songs aren't horrible, but you know what I mean? It's just not where it was at. You know, we can all go to a Ken Carson concert and turn up and go crazy, but if you're listening to this in your AirPods, this thing's like a 5.56. And a real comprehensive album, this thing is down there with like Che level of just like, it's not even a real album. These things are more mixtapes, you know what I mean? But I just give it around like a 5.56. Now on a real note, A Great Chaos was really good. 7, 8 out of 10, 8, 5. And a lot of these other artists, Whole Lotta Red, I even give, you know, like a 7 to this day. I give Self-Titled an 8.5. I give Dilit an 8. I don't hate any of these artists. This is just genuinely my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So that is my opinion on all of the albums that have dropped recently in recent memory that I can think of. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what your guys' ratings are. Let me know what you guys think in this on my Snapchat, my Instagram, stuff like that. Give me video ideas, tips for YouTube if you guys like it, whatever you want. And yeah, subscribe and like and make sure you guys have all that stuff going. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stream Infinite 3.